Hey, Mully here. So last time I left you, we were in Whangarei and on our way back to Pizza Barn, I mean Waipu. Dave, who we met on the fishing trip at Waitiki Landing, had offered us a place to stay, and what a place it was. The weather wasn't too great, so Dave picked us up and took us to his Angora goat farm. When we arrived, we were told not to worry about staying in our tent because he had a spare room. This spare room had windows looking out to the sea and the surrounding islands. It had an ensuite and a bed that was bigger than our entire tent. I felt like a king. The house was amazing. It was filled with loads of musical instruments, beautiful paintings. It was all very cool. The garden was like a park, and the fields surrounding it contained all of the Angora goats. So the first night, Dave, his wife Debs, and their neighbours Chris and Anne took us out to Pizza Barn. I decided to mix it up with the workhorse pizza this time, which had salami, pepperoni, artichoke, onion, olive tapenade and gherkins, and paired it with a few pints of the McLeod's bitter. We were then introduced into the chocolate banana dessert pizza, which had butterscotch sauce, bananas, white and milk chocolate, ice cream and chocolate ganache. Wow. Quite sickly though, I could have probably only eaten 2. The next day we had the grand tour of the farm. We offered our assistance as well. We met Gas the dog, who was awesome. She was really friendly and quite cheeky, occasionally having a sit down in the shade when she was supposed to be herding the goats.
Walk up, Gas. Yeah, walk up. Never mind lying in the shade.
We then got to feed the kids, who were pretty cute and fought each other over the milk we were giving them. I then had a go at pretending to be a dog and helped Gas herd the goats through a footbath. We're chasing goats, Gas. I'm getting backed against the corner. Got this, Gas. Day 3, we went to visit the Waipu Museum and learnt about the history of the town, and then stopped for a quick bite to eat at the local bakery, which allows me to introduce a new segment to the channel. Inspired by Joe Scott and his love of pies, I hope this fills a hole left by them. Welcome to Pie Time. First to the pie time list is a beef and cheese pie from the Waipu bakery. It was fantastic, really crispy, flaky crust and rammed full of the savoury filling. Pie time. I also got a type of cookie called an Afghan, which I'd seen a few times around New Zealand, so I thought I'd give it a go. It was a crumbly chocolate OC biscuit filled with big walnut pieces. Pretty good. The last day of our stay, the wind finally calmed down, so Dave took us out on his fishing boat. We launched from a marina near Whangarei with the rods ready to go. We went fishing! It was great seeing the land from the water, and we felt dwarfed by these huge logging ships loading at the docks. We sped down the coast and arrived at the first fish stop. As soon as Frankie's bait touched the water, she had a bite. That was some beginner's luck there, as there was a good-sized kahawai on the end. Next up was my turn. My first fish, a snapper.
Now listen, this here is a legal fish.
It's a legal one?
Legal.
Okay. Shortly after, I caught a second snapper, and then a third, but I had to throw that one back as it was undersized. Dave caught 2 snapper and a teraki, and then I think we'd caught all of the fish in the bay because we stopped getting any bites at all. So we called it a day and decided to head back in. When we got to the farm, we prepared the fish for eating. We planned on 3 ways of cooking. The kahawai was filleted to be chopped up for battering. The 3 of the snapper were filleted to be fried in butter, and the last snapper to be steamed in ginger along with the teraki. So we ran out of normal flour. We're using corn flour for the batter. So a bit of corn flour and some beer.
Okay.
Using
I left it over
old
here.
dark.
Cooking's a serious
No,
business.
it's a logical instruction.
It's gonna be annoying working with corn flour because it will just create like a paste, and whenever you use corn flour and mix it with liquid, it does this thing where if you hit it really hard, it's solid, but if you push it in slowly, it's liquid.
Yeah.
So trying to stir it is a pain in the ass because the quicker you do it, it's rock solid. So you have to do it really slowly. So just adding in some paprika. Do some pepper as well. Salt. This is Kauai.
Yeah.
You do what you want. I'm just giving you the option, mate. In New Zealand, you don't have to listen to me.
Dave's steaming method was ingenious. In the same way that you can wrap a fish in banana leaves and bury it in a fire, he wrapped the fish in plenty of newspaper and then nuked it in the microwave for 9 minutes. But it was perfectly cooked. You could really taste the ginger throughout the whole fish. We had such a fantastic time with Dave, Debs, Ryan and Gas. So if you're watching, thank you for your awesome hospitality. We had a fantastic break from being on the road. We left Waipu for a quick stop at Sheep Worlds. We didn't go into the park, but apparently they have brightly coloured sheep and herding shows, but I'm sure they had nothing on Gas and me. We then stayed in Parakai, just north of Helensville, and then headed back into Auckland. Vera and Graham had invited us back to stay with them, so we jumped at the chance of hanging out with them again. Vera's birthday was coming up, so they were having a barbecue. It was a fantastic night, meeting tons of lovely people, eating and drinking lots, and fireworks too. After a late night, we decided to relax on the beach for the day and had some awesome ice cream from a place called Joshua's in St Heliers. I had one with a scoop of chocolate and butterscotch and it was awesome. Then we had fish and chips for tea. I had a huge battered mussel, snapper and chips, just what we needed. Thanks again for everything, guys. We'll be back to see you soon. Und alles gut zum Geburtstag, Vera. That's all from me today. I really appreciate everyone who has shared my videos, and if you haven't already, please, if you just share it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, the more people that watch the video, the longer I can stay on the road and can keep making all of these videos. Also, if you have any questions about the trip or anything else at all, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try and answer it in my next video. Thanks again.